Hey everybody, we're back at it for another week. I know I'm a day late this time. You know what I did? I was just so tired yesterday. I just went to bed early. I was bored. I couldn't find anything worth watching, and I totally forgot about this. So I went to bed early, and that was that. But here I am today, a day late and several dollars short. And we're going to be checking out a video from Sparks Motors. Now, I'm not sure what the name of their show was. I suppose I should have looked it up before I did this, but I've been watching their YouTube videos for years. But it's Dave Sparks and his best friend Diesel Dave. I don't know Diesel Dave's last name. And they used to have a show on the Discovery Channel. Now they're just YouTube, as far as I know, with Sparks Motors. And they do a lot of dangerous type rescue situations where usually not rescuing a person, but rescuing a vehicle, a boat, a helicopter, a plane, a car, off-road car, whatever. And they've done a few of these over the years. And so I thought this one would be cool. It's called "This Sinking Boat Almost Took Out Our Rescue Diver, Deepwater Rescue." So I'm not sure if they're rescuing this boat or what they're doing, why there was a diver while a boat was sinking. But we're going to get right into it here and find out what's going on. So without further ado, here we go.
We got a boat down at 95 feet, big wakeboard boat, and 95 feet is really deep for the elevation that we're at right now. We gotta move fast, guys.
He's down in the dark, needle in a haystack.
That boat manufacturer claims you can't sink those boats.
It wasn't like a plug, you know what I mean? This thing was like gone.
I think we're ready to yank on it.
I don't want to risk flipping it over, especially where we're this close. Yeah, baby! Dude,
Okay, so now we're getting to the backstory here.
Like, this is one of the coolest trucks I've ever built. It took forever to get done, but that's because we were doing it the right way, and it turned out unreal. So this is the maiden voyage of this truck with all the new mods done to it, and I personally cannot wait. This might be my favorite truck as far as work trucks that we've ever built. And it's still not done. We still have a lot to do, but today's gonna be definitely a good test of it, because that boat is not light, and
that's
we're going up some pretty steep hills.
deflated, that's why it looks like that. So this is Alan. They call him the Wizard. Alan also has his own channel. You can probably find a link to it on Heavy D's channel. I'm not really sure, but it's you could probably search it on YouTube if you were to search for Mountain Fortress Labs. That's what it is. And I think it's MTN Fortress Labs. I think that's what his channel name is. And his channel is pretty cool. He's got this mountaintop fortress that he's building, and he's got all sorts of military vehicles. If you like stuff like that, he's got all these old military vehicles. He's got like 20 different, maybe 30 different Dodge Ram trucks that were all military. He's got Oshkosh trucks. He's got all sorts of stuff. So I don't think he has a lot of subscribers either. So go on over to his channel too once you find it and give him a subscribe and some loving. This is
Right
Hans.
now we're doing the yard shuffle. That's where we try to figure out what.
Hans is, I believe his title would be the COO of Chief Operations Officer of Sparks Motors.
Which trucks look best pulling what trailer. Had the new.
And he doesn't look it, but he's a workaholic. And whenever they get into anything, Hans is like the first one there with his hands getting in there and getting things ready for Dave the way he knows Dave likes it. And especially when they do their winter retreats, Hans is up at the cabin like 3 days prior. He's getting it stocked, he's getting it shoveled, he's getting everything done. Hans is a real workhorse of the company.
New bolt hook to the 7-ton, decided to pull it with the heavy service truck. Then we had Brian's Atlas truck pulling this boat. Then we decided we wanted to have the flat, heavy rescue truck pull this because it looked cooler. So now we're doing the boat shuffle. And then we hit the open roads.
Grab one.
You excited, Al?
I'm always excited.
What are you excited for?
Oh, excitement, adventure, and really wild things today.
Do we have a can of gas?
Do we have a can of gas? I don't know.
Make sure we have gas for both these stations.
Right.
That's Diesel Dave if you don't know him.
Very. Adventure, excitement, whatever else Al said.
Are you gonna leave
As
that
I
in there?
understand it,
That should
Diesel
be good.
Dave and Dave Sparks are 50-50 partners in Sparks Motors.
Well, we've got all the tubes strapped down. We have all the air compressors on here to be able to fill the tubes.
I could be wrong
We'll
about
fill
that,
the
but that's
pontoons.
my understanding.
We have all the tools. We have the rigging devices on that boat. And we have everything in the service truck. I mean, the service truck came ready. Got to get fuel and then hit the road. So I think we are moments away from leaving, finally.
Get fuel, hit the road, stop at a gas station, get snacks. Sorry about that. I didn't know that was coming up. This is my first time
We're
watching
fueled
the
up. We've got
video.
all the tools. We've got all the rigging. We've got the boats. And now it's
But I
time
did
to head
skip
to Deer
most
Creek
of it for you.
to go look for a boat that is 98 feet deep in the water. Doug's already up there. He's searching for it right now. Hans and Brian are on their way in the Atlas truck. Dave and I are about to head out in the heavy rescue convoy with the boats. And hopefully we find that boat, pull it back to safety. Here we go.
One of the big things that they do with these rescues is they're trying to clean up the environment. So if they know of, say, a canyon that has several wrecked cars in it, they'll bring out their big wrecker equipment or even the helicopter or whatever. The guy owns a Black Hawk helicopter, for Christ's sake. I mean, you know, these guys are definitely millionaires many times over. But, you know, they'll bring out whatever equipment is necessary to get those cars out of that canyon just to beautify the area, get the junk out of there. So, and that's another thing that they're doing, you know, with this boat rescue, is they're getting this boat out of the water so that it's not constantly sitting there and affecting the water.
Twice in like a couple months. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready. You find it?
Found it. It's located 95 feet.
So we have Brian up there on the hilltop, just out from the GPS coordinates of this supposed accident.
Can't remember who
So far,
this
it's
guy
really
is.
smooth bottom, which
He's
is
got his
reading
own
sonar
channel,
for detecting things underwater, such as
and he does a lot of diving videos. I've never actually checked out his channel, but yeah, I think he's a master diver or something like that, and so is his partner that's with him there. And so whenever it's a water rescue, a lot of times these guys are involved.
you know, what I do, bodies, barrels, refrigerators, cars, boats, you name it. This type of smooth bottom that we have so far is ideal. It's picture perfect. It's like almost sand. So anything whatsoever, a rock and or a man-made object shape is gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So this should be a really easy locate. Right over 100 feet, right where we're at, which is no small feat, but we're gonna knock it out of the park. The information that's been relayed to me so far has said that this boat is in about 98 feet of water. So we're scanning 150 feet in either direction. There's not much width here, so a couple of swipes through this area where this accident took place should discover the boat. And we are over it right now. That is it.
Yeah, I would say that's a boat.
big wakeboard boat. It's a B52, which is like a 24, 26 foot boat, and it's sitting at the bottom, and 95 feet is really deep for the elevation that we're at right now. This lake sits probably right around 5,500, 6,000 feet above sea level. So every time you go up, every 1,000 feet you go above sea level, that makes the dive table change drastically. So we're gonna have to just be cautious. Yeah?
Yeah, we'll mitigate risk whenever we can, but it's definitely dangerous.
We got the brand new 11-meter rib that I just picked up, and then we've got the other recovery boat that we picked up a couple months ago. So we're gonna get the boat set up and get these things in the water. We got a little bit of a late start this morning, so we're gonna be fighting daylight here. As long as we can get down and hooked onto the boat, we should be good, but we'll get this party started. Ready?
Hook points. Well, anything you're going to recover at 100 feet of depth is unknown until you get down there. Thankfully for us, we have the identical boat right behind us, so we've been able to pre-game with this boat exactly where I'm going to go down my rig points. We have 2 secure ones in the back. We're going to use these 2 on either side, and then there's 1 in the front. So we're going to put the main tow line onto the front. I'm going to put the lift bag line onto the back of the boat. That way it'll pick it up, relieve some pressure off the back. It'll allow us to tow it off the bottom and sort of along the bottom without it just completely dragging.
Trying to, if it's 100 feet down, it's a long ways to just either pull it along the bottom of the lake or try to run bags. We're just trying to make it as safe as possible. If you're trying to go down 100 feet and tie bags, you run out of air fairly quickly, and it's just, there's more room for air. So the game plan is we might just run a bag about 50 feet down, take some pressure off the boat, off the bottom of the lake, and then use a bag halfway in between to kind of lift the boat a little bit and then drag it to where the boat's sitting on dirt at 50 feet instead of 100. So game plan right now is Mastermind Doug here. He's gonna get us laid out.
First things first, gotta get the flag flying. Nothing looks better than a military boat with the big old beautiful American flag hanging off the top. So that was the first time in business. Now we can get the rest of the boat ready.
He's got some nice boats, that's for sure. He's got some nice boats, he's got some nice trucks, he's got some nice transport trucks, he's got some
First
nice
move
helicopters,
right now,
he's
two
got
things.
a nice
Number one,
airplane.
we gotta find the boat again. Doug's over there searching for it. They found it this
Like
morning,
I said,
so know where it's at.
millionaires
They
already
said the
many
bottom
times
is beautiful, nice and sandy, not a bunch of rocks and other debris and obstacles. So that's number one. Number two is we have to get the airbag to sync. Airbags are just a pain in the ass. No matter how you look at it, I mean, they're great and they're helpful, but man, when you start dealing with airbags this big, they just don't like to do whatever you're trying to get them to do. So right now we're trying to get it to sync because it still has a little air left in it. So we've got an anchor hanging off of it. Now we're gonna add a bunch of other weights to get that to drop down, because otherwise Doug's gonna have to try to pull that down by swimming, and that's just gonna be a nightmare. He's already got enough to worry about. As soon as we get that thing to start sinking, we'll run over there where they're at. Doug will get geared up and we'll drop in the water to get down there.
Yeah. Unless I'm dropping all of that from this boat under this flashlight, it's gonna be off. Or we're gonna have to be really lucky, and we can't rely on luck.
Unless you're on right now, right? If you're on, you can follow that guideline down.
I can follow that down, yeah. I'm confident in what I have on there now.
Yeah, because right now you would go down following your tether, or just the guideline with the empty rope hooked to the end of this. You pull this down, hook the loaded line to the boat, set this aside, put it in the boat or whatever, and then and once you're comfortable
that
that it's up,
other guy is wearing is Sparks Motors Company.
Let's do that.
Probably 50 feet over.
I think they
it does
started
start
out
coming
as
up pretty
diesel
sharp.
mechanics.
There's no rock over there, just in case we need to know that. Yeah.
Made their fortune
definitely don't want to go that way
between
because it's
Discovery Channel and YouTube.
farther to go that way. On the rigging line, 3 big tugs, and you'll drop it away from me. I'll pull it to me, rig, and then we'll communicate on my tether line. And then when I pull 3 times, that means I'm coming up.
Time to suit up.
get so many people, haters and commenters, keyboard warriors. You're not a diver. You can't dive with a beard like that. Watch me.
It's all a fake scene. We just shoved Doug in the water and then we put a real diver in right after.
We're just pretending. We'll cut to the real diver in a mask. All right, Doug, what are those? These are ankle weights. And because I'm using a dry suit, if air moves in my suit, such as down my legs, this will allow me more balance, with the ability to control my weight, and also from being flipped, it'll aid. These few pounds on my ankles do a whole lot. At this altitude, anytime you're near 100 feet, you start to experience losing dexterity. And you don't really notice it. You have to be really conscious of your movements, your body functions once you get around 100 feet.
Locked and loaded.
Hey, this is my line.
This is one you're gonna be tugging on. You tug it 3 times, we'll know to drop something down for you.
Yeah.
If the golf ball comes up, I'm pulling you up by this line as fast as I can. Okay.
Yeah, everybody's got to know what they're doing in a situation like this.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never experienced anything like that.
The bag went down.
It's the altitude. I can't describe it.
Good luck, Doug. He's going fast. We're going for it. Same problem?
I can't get down.
You went down a lot faster that time. Did you make it past 60? Did you make it past 60?
I just can't breathe.
Breathing's nice.
Something pressure related I can't explain. I just don't know enough about it. Altitude change, travel maybe. There's nothing I can do right now. Tried to send past it. It's not my equipment, it's me. It's my chest. It's pressure related. It's like I'm breathing in, but I'm not.
We ran into a snag. Doug went down to about 60 feet. Remember, the boat is around 90, 95 feet. And when he got to 60 feet, as you dive, you have to kind of acclimate to the pressure. The deeper you go, the more pressure the water's putting on your body. And so you have to kind of go down, adjust, get comfortable, adjust your ears, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you can keep on working your way back down. The issue that we ran into is Doug got down to 60 feet, he couldn't breathe. It wasn't his tank, wasn't his regulator, it was in his chest. Like, for some reason, he's just having really shallow breaths. And so obviously that's not a good sign. So he came up to 40 feet to kind of like readjust, reacclimate, reduce the pressure on his body. And then he tried to go back down and it just got worse. So basically anytime he hits the 60-foot mark, he just can't breathe. Not 100% sure what's going on there. A couple different ideas. He's been working up in Idaho at a much lower elevation than this, like 2,000 feet. So his body's used to having very oxygen-rich, air.
Could be
also, he drove through the night, didn't get a ton of sleep.
Yeah.
So the sleep shouldn't have a lot to do with it. But when you factor in adjusting for the altitude, which, he's double the altitude here, triple the altitude here from where he just came from. He's working on very little sleep, drove through the night. Might just be a physical thing where his body just needs to reset.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that means that we can't send him down to the boat right now.
Nope.
Pretty much out of options for today, but it's all right.
That means he should get a good night's sleep tonight and try again tomorrow.
My friends, we are back for day 2 of this boat recovery that we're working on. Yesterday, as you guys know, Doug could not make it all the way down past 60 feet because he was running into some issues being able to breathe. So I was kind of suspecting that maybe the travel and acclimating to the elevation was the issue. And sure enough, when he got back to the hotel last night, he put on a blood oxygen meter and he was at like 82%, which is really, really low.
Yeah.
Normal is like 95 to 100%.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's able to get that, back down to the 90-95 foot depth mark where
I don't know much about
diving,
diving, but I've heard that
bad boy
those
right at the top.
numbers,
Now,
I mean, you should be around between 95 and 100%.
We haven't even showed you guys really much of yet, but
anything below 95% is extremely low.
We're coming out with our own 56-foot long, 20-foot wide helicopter landing barge, twin engine, built-in hot tub into the deck, thrusters. This thing is just going to be an absolute monster. It's designed to hold the Black Hawk or 2 small helicopters. So I'll introduce you guys to that build here very soon, and hopefully we'll be able to reveal it here down at Lake Powell sometime within the next couple of weeks because it's moving along pretty quick. The structure and the frame is all built in the shop, and now we're just finishing the assembly. I hope you guys enjoy it because we're going to be spending some time here. And with that said, let's go find this boat.
Rich boys and their toys.
What we'll do is, once I get into the water, you guys are kind of like hang back from the boat, and he has sonar reading. He can watch me go down the whole way, so he'll be able to relay where I'm at, what I'm doing, how I'm doing. He'll be able to watch my bubbles and so forth. You guys will know when I'm down there. You guys will know when I'm coming up.
So I wonder, what do you do about having low blood oxygen levels? How did he correct for that? I guess maybe he's got oxygen and he can just put on an oxygen mask for a few hours in the hotel room.
All right, so he's at the bottom right now.
Oh, he made it. Now we got his camera.
There he comes.
So he's right here.
There he comes. Good?
Feeling good?
Fine.
What do you think, Dougie?
I think we're ready to yank on it.
All hooked up?
Yeah, so we have the Yankum rope on the front end.
Okay.
With the Yankum soft shackle through the front end.
Okay.
I lost the anchor line. So that's our pull point.
Guess what? We're hooked up. We are on the boat. Old Dougie Fresh went down and got a nice hook point on the front of the boat. So we took a Yankum soft shackle, which, by the way, hands down, one of the most valuable, important, and cherished tools in our collection. We love these things. I mean, it weighs what? Like half a pound, but it can hold 20, 30,000 pounds. The big ones will hold like a couple 100,000 pounds. We've never broken one of these by having it just fail. We've broken them by having them chafe and rub on sharp edges, but as far as just failing, never. So this right here, let's say this right here is the front of the other boat. Yankum is hooked around like that, and then it's hooked to this other winch line that's about 100 feet up. Now that's hooked to the back of this boat. What we're gonna do is just use brute strength with this boat right here. This 11-meter rib has incredible thrust. I mean, the freaking jets on this thing are like, you could fit a baseball in each of them. So tons of thrust, tons of power, big cat engines. We're gonna flip around and head straight towards the beach and basically try to drag the boat up the bottom of the lake. Doug says there's no rocks. It's like baby powder down there. Super smooth, silky, which is exactly what we want because we don't want to destroy the boat or the prop or anything like that. Obviously, things are going to get dented and dinged, but the boat's underwater, so that's just kind of comes with the territory. And then once we get it a little bit lower or a little bit, you know, less deep, let's say we get it to 20 feet, then we can throw bags on it, lift that thing all the way up, start pumping the water out, and we will have it out of here. This is my favorite part. I can't wait. Let's go.
It's hard to believe seeing
All right, so this is good. The boat is moving.
Towing boats,
we just dragged it probably a solid.
Because water is not exactly something you
feet or
can
so
get traction
on the bottom of the lake, and it's working just like we hoped it would.
So you got to have some
it's
really
basically
good deep
climbing this incline. It's sitting down here in this
turbos
valley.
or something
We're dragging it up this slope right
to
here.
get that
And now
brute strength.
we've got a bunch of slack in the rope, which is what we wanted. Because with this slack, we can tighten it, choke it, pull it closer. I think we'll have the boat sitting here in about 20 feet of water in about 10 minutes, which is exactly what we want, because then Doug can dive down, throw some bags on it. We'll be out of here in a couple hours. Fingers crossed. I love this. This is so much fun. I freaking love this. I actually want to set up a, you guys know how we love to do like, invite, you know, viewers and stuff out to the cabin with us to hang out and just come along different adventures. This is one that I would love to bring some of you guys along with. You guys are awesome. You support the channel. You make us feel good. You know, leave awesome comments. You email us and call us and text us like when there's stuff to film. Like genuinely, guys, we appreciate you. Like from the bottom of my heart, couldn't be doing this without you, and that's why we want to return the favor. So keep your eyes peeled, because here soon we're going to start picking random subscribers to come out and do these marine recoveries with us. And I can promise you right now, it will be one of the coolest things you've ever done. Just exciting, fun, new, challenging, beautiful, warm, all the good things. So stay tuned.
Now, if I wasn't a lazy bastard, I might enjoy something like that. I'd enjoy hanging out with them for a day, but not the kind of work they do. I'm not into that.
Coming, guys, we're close. This is the part that gets a little challenging, because using these lift bags to get the boat above the water line is a challenge for sure, but we'll get it. We got a bag hookup. This is always the most enjoyable, but also the most frustrating part, because it's either going to go perfect or we're going to see us sitting here fist fighting these giant bags for the next couple hours. Those, I think the straps broke, or the carabiner.
The carabiner then. Really?
I think it was those repair straps.
The straps are still on.
Anybody need any sunscreen?
You want a D-ring for that one?
Instant bronzer. There you go. Boys want to get bronze?
Give some of that to Al, please.
Holy shit, Alan's white.
I'm not trying to start a fire. I feel like that'd have a weird chemical reaction.
Oh man.
Dave's pretty white too, though.
Oh man, you're tanning up real nice.
What the hell do you have on your hands, Mr. Prickly Hands?
Huh? I've been digging at your boat.
Feels like you've got gravel in your palm.
It's pretty much what I have on there. There's oil and all the other things that you want on your back.
Now, since we don't have the boat with the winch on it, which is my big other Navy boat, this one we're just going to use the pulling power. So we have a rope hooked to the bow of the boat. The boat is kind of suspended off the bottom of the lake by the airbags. So now we got a little snatch block up to a tree with the Yankum rope hooked to the back of this boat. So as I pull out that way, should pull this boat up onto the beach.
And then the owner has to come with the trailer to the tree.
Yeah, baby! on the beach, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly what we wanted to happen. And that tiny little tree that we were anchored to held up, did its job. I'm so pumped.
That's a nice boat.
Bottom of the boat resting on the bottom of the lake, and the sides of the boat are above the water line. So now we can start pumping it out.
Right here, just go right there.
Oh, that's good feeling. Okay. Here we go. Hey, start that.
Pumping the water out of her so that she can actually float, and they can tie it to a tree and leave it for the owner to come along and rescue.
It is time to go. We got the boat floating, got the pump working, and now we're gonna head back to the marina, see how much this boat really likes to float.
Oh, he's towing it. Okay. Back to the marina. That makes sense. See, almost everybody on his team has got their iPhone or a GoPro or something like that, so that they're all recording different angles at different times, and then the editing can be done. Well, that was a pretty cool video, I think. And if you think so, give it a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'll leave a link down in the description to the original video so that we can be sure to treat the original content creator properly. And with that out of the way, I think I'm going to go and edit this video and get it uploaded for you. So, y'all have a good one, and hope to see you back here next week, and hopefully it'll be Thursday again. All right, ciao for now.